Well, folks, it's time to kick it old school.
What's up, everybody? This is Ken,
And this is Jay,
and we are here to review the movie Passengers.
Columbia Pictures film starring Jennifer Lawrence and Chris Pratt.
Let's get it.
Yo, I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame. Though it might be nice to own a jet plane, I'ma do it all for you. Come along and see it's true, but the world is pretty cold. You might need a sweater.
So welcome back to Bros and O's with Ken and Jay. We're reviewing today Passengers, which star Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence. Also with supporting roles with Lawrence Fishburne and Michael Sheen. And this film is about two people, Pratt and Lawrence, who wake up 90 years too soon from an induced hibernation on board a spaceship bound for a new planet, Homestead 2. So Ken, let's talk about some of the key elements of the movie.
Yeah, so let's start with story. For me, I felt the story was really compelling. I know that there are some other critics out there that's given this a pretty bad review in the story element, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because well, that's only because I think it divulges to three different kind of elements. It's not just a survival film. It's a love story. It's also a thriller. So you have these three elements. Well, yeah,
Really?
yeah. The finale in the end.
Oh, okay.
You know, so that's kind of
Okay,
where I'm
sure.
going with thriller.
Okay.
So, and I love that. I love the fact that this story is not shoehorned to one thing. Because I'm going to honestly tell you, I don't know that Chris Pratt could really carry this film like completely by itself if it was just a survival horror film.
And I agree with you on Chris Pratt, probably not carrying the movie itself. I think he's a little too comedic to carry it. But and I think we one of the elements we're gonna get into later with this is with the performances.
Yeah.
But the story itself, I agree. I was looking. The trailer alludes that it's gonna be the Survivor type of film. Kind of knew it was going to have some romance. You know, if you figure a male lead and a female lead is going to probably have some romance to it.
Yeah, yeah.
But initially, I guess I was thinking that was going to be more as things took place. Maybe this was going to be like a galactic Adam and Eve.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I thought it was, and as you watch the movie, it alludes to different creation of like this garden and things in the movie.
Right.
But it just, the story itself, I can't put my finger on why the plot was just fully flawed to me, but I was sitting there kind of guessing. I could guess this plot throughout the movie.
Okay, so yeah, it was a little predictable,
Yeah.
but I think that that didn't bother me too much because I kind of ultimately knew we had to go from here to here to here, right? So I didn't have a problem with it, but it kept me engaged. I wanted to know, even though I could kind of predict what's going on around that corner, I still liked the enjoyment of going around the corner.
And I guess for me, going around the corner was more, this is where you were saying about Chris Pratt not leading.
Yeah.
I think maybe it's his role as being a technician, an engineer. He was finding creative ways to keep himself going, without spoiling the movie, keeping himself going throughout on this ship headed to this planet.
Yeah, I agree. So I think from a story element, adding the bartender.
Barton was good.
Yeah,
I'm going to talk more about him and my performances.
Yeah, I think adding that, and just from a story perspective, I think he helped to bring some kind of ease of tension to the story, right? Because if it was just these two characters existing, the monotony of just them two would probably drive them crazy to some. It was like the comedic relief on some level.
You talking about the bartender?
Yeah.
Yeah. It reminded, initially I was looking, when I was sitting there watching the movie, I was like, okay, is this going to be like Blue Lagoon? Is it going to be...
Well, that's a good way to put it, like Blue Lagoon in space. I kind of could go there.
I was hoping you wouldn't have said that. I was just being funny for our
But
viewers.
no, I can see that because these two people are in a situation that is very similar but space.
Do we have to say any more about the story?
No.
Okay.
All right, so let's move over to performances.
Performances, okay.
Since we've kind of alluded to some of the performances, for me, I was really happy with Chris Pratt feeding off of Jennifer Lawrence. I think the two really had great chemistry in this film.
I agree with you in the chemistry. Their chemistry was dead on. But and maybe it could be Jennifer Lawrence burnout, but anybody else could have filled that role. Any beautiful co-star, female actress, could have fit that role. I mean, you could have had Charlize Theron. You could have had.
He's just hating on Jennifer Lawrence.
Maybe I'm getting tired of her for certain type of roles.
Right.
And I could and viewers, when we do other movies, you're probably going to hear me talk about different people because I'm the casual fan as far as us reviewing. But I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Jennifer Lawrence as an actress. I loved her in Silver Linings Playbook. I loved her in American Hustle. I loved her in Joy. Excellent in all three movies. I had to put up with her as Katniss in Hunger
Okay,
Games.
let's bring it back.
Okay, bring it back. Okay. Well, so to bring it back, then I mean, she was just okay. I guess eye candy for the eyes.
So,
She did outside of one scene when she realizes what was going on.
Right.
And that was it.
I think that right there alone showed her range. Right there, she went from this very realizing what's going on and how I would believe someone to actually act
For this movie.
Yeah. Well, yeah, act like in this situation.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I can agree with that.
Yeah. So let's move to then what we ultimately give passengers. So me and Jay, I think we seem to differ here.
Very different.
All right. All right. I give passengers 3 bros. 3 bros.
Why do you give it 3 bros?
I love the story. I thought the story was compelling. I actually love the special effects. Although they were minimally used here, the story was really focused on Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence's story. But where the special effects filled in the gaps, it was beautiful. I thought it was really great. Like, it belonged in the sci-fi genre. It made you feel at home with the special effects there.
Okay.
And I love some of the performances, again, like we talked about with Chris Pratt, Jennifer Lawrence, and the bartender.
Michael Sheen.
Michael Sheen, yeah. From the Lycans from Underworld series.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought he did great, and I felt like I could watch this again.
Okay. So I guess it's time for me to give my... Okay. Viewers, I give this 2 bros. It was okay. It was something that if I go to a matinee, I wouldn't mind paying $5 or so to go see it. It was because the story was so predictable. What I did like to Ken's point was the ship. The ship was interesting. It made me feel very unique. It made me feel that if I was, hibernating on this ship and if I did come out of hibernation, I could maybe have some fun on this ship. Even though it's just me, I could probably have fun. Michael Sheen plays the bartender.
Yep.
He was spot on as this robot bartender, but I guess my comment would be maybe Jennifer Lawrence. She was good for a scene, maybe 2, but just nothing that was just spectacular. Chris Pratt, not to say that he makes the movie, but his comedic elements, add to it.
All right. Well, so then as an aggregate, what do we give The Passenger?
Aggregate of 2.5 bros.
2.5 bros. All right. Please like and subscribe if you like what you've seen, and we'll see you next time.
On Bros Who Knows.
Peace.
Peace.